when you're talking about net present calculations and everything, it was all shared at the very beginning by all the banks. But yeah, if you can get somebody to redocument their loan and stop paying, I mean, that's crazy. But I think what's most astounding about this list of properties is the fact that it's the major metros that are experiencing negative equity. In fact, New York having 195,000 negative equity homes is crazy. Crazy. That'll do it. Anybody have any questions about the market or market questions for this week? Because truthfully, how can we obtain a copy of the list of homes with negative equity? Good question, Bob Dockman. I will send it out with this webinar. How's that? I'll send it out with this podcast. It's actually.
Oh, well, I think he's asking a different question, isn't he?
Ask
like you can go to the property radar and you can filter based on negative equity.
Yeah, you certainly can. Yeah, good question, Bob. I wish we could just call our title company, David. Can I make another push for that again? For the end of that horse crap?
Keep pushing.
Do you give free donuts? You can't, right? You wouldn't tell me on a recorded call anyway.
Well, we get that stuff, but it's but you got to keep it under $25. I think is the rule.
Right, that's not even a full box of Krispy Kremes. Of course, you're watching your weight for the wedding, I'm sure. All right. Are there any other questions about the market? I'll leave that list up on the screen as our sort of picture for the day. Anybody have any other questions? All right, let's move on to the topic du jour, which is talking marketing, right? That's why we're all here. We want to get face-to-face with these equity people. So let's start right with the equity question. David, would you start filtering right now for people that have negative equity?
I don't. We don't filter for negative equity. We filter for defaults.
Right.
That's all we care about. If they happen to have negative equity, fine. If they don't, fine. We don't care. You got to understand, why I'm in the short sale business, and we like negotiating short sales, and our business is growing again, thank God. Okay, which is the best indicator I can tell you of. I mean, forget all this data. I'm looking at my pipeline, and I see that it's growing again, and we're actually beating last year's numbers, by the way, which I am surprised. So the answer is we're looking for transactions. Whether or not I'm an investor or I'm a realtor, I'm looking to get control of listings or getting control of properties that have a high probability of selling. And I know that 56% of people, according to Revo Gateway, that are in default are going to sell their house within 12 months. And so that's where I want to spend my time. I want to be cultivating and nurturing relationships with people who have a high probability of selling their house, and default conversion rates are much higher than any other source. Pick FSBOs, pick expires, pick farming, pick divorce, pick probate. None of them come close to the conversion rate that you have with defaults.
There you go.
That's why I do defaults.
I keep playing with that headphone and it really messes me up. So with that said, for those of you listening along that are non-Monster members, because this goes out to the general public, here's how the Monster works. All you have to do is go to thelistingmonster.com, just like the commercial you heard at the top. All you do is select 36 properties, go put out 36 marketing pieces. Your call center should get about 6 calls. The call center has very specialized scripts that will generate about 3 to 5 face-to-face appointments for you. So, for those of you wondering, that's how it works. That's what we're talking about when we talk about pulling data. So let's focus on pulling data. If any of you have questions specifically on data right now, David, personally for me, when I'm going out and pulling and I'm having Diana pull for me, I'm starting to lean more towards notice of default. I really want to work on building relationships with people instead of people. Does this make sense? I'm getting tired of desperate Hail Marys from people at the last minute. or the very depressing situation that seems to happen, which is they call me one day after their sale. So looking for some kind of, well, I screwed up, can you fix it now kind of result, which is mind-boggling to me. So I want to focus. I've been having Diana focus more on notice of default.
Yeah, we do both. Again, we are doing both. I'll just say that we're not selecting one over the other. I still like the NOTSs because the urgency is much greater, and we generally get some resolution within 2 or 3 weeks, whether or not we're going to get it or we're not. NODs take a little longer, but we find them both effective, so we do both. Basically, at the end of the day, we don't have enough NOTSs to only do NOTSs, so we're just doing everything.
Yeah.
We're only finding 15, 20 people a week to tag, new tags, every single week, which turns out to be plenty. That's getting us 3 appointments a week.
I wonder if we will start to see any kind of spike in response rates or anything over the coming months. And I'm also wondering, when are other agents really going to start looking toward? Here's what my fear is. Everything else isn't working for real estate agents. In fact, the CNN article that I want to put out is real estate agents are experiencing a dip in transactions, right? Pending sales, actual sales, every new home sales, everything is down. So it would seem on a drip down effect that agents are going to have to literally change what they're doing to find new ways of getting listings, right? I know that there's going to be at some point a flood of people trying to come into this market with their door knocking, cold calling, and mailers. And by the way, I'll say it again. That's why I like pre-foreclosures. People don't answer the phone, they don't answer the door, and they don't read their mail. That's what makes the monster so unique. But
all true.
All very true. And they don't go online. I've been meaning to ask you about this. One of the side effects that I've noticed throughout the last couple of years is the Zillow effect. So when you work with pre-foreclosure people, they're not getting a Zestimate, David. You run a regular brokerage. How many times do you have a Zestimate shoved in your face? Did I lose you? I lost David.
No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're there. Do you have to battle those estimates?
No, I had never noticed it before. I always battle Zestimate every day, every listing presentation. We battle Zestimate.
The Zestimate. Is it still that crazy? I'm not a day-to-day realtor like everybody else. How bad is that thing?
People love the Zestimate when it's high, and they despise it when it's low. It's wrong on both ends. It's not just high; it's low too.
Oh, it's hilarious. Daniel Rodriguez. Hello, Daniel. How often do you revisit a zip code? That's a good question. I personally, I'll take the first part of the question and ask David. For me, Diana puts it back in rotation every 4 to 6 weeks. David, how often do your people retag non-responders?
Well, I'm not sure. Is that what he's saying? Retag a house?
Yeah.
We're every 3 weeks or so. So we're rotating. We're covering 3 different areas with our tags, and so we're every 3rd week in each one of them.
Which goes to the second question, which is how soon do you retag a house that didn't call you back? So it all plays in.
Every 3rd week. Yeah.
So you're every 3 weeks. I'm about every 4 to 6 weeks. And Daniel, she keeps track. David's got a really slick. I got this question the other day about a CRM. David likes Follow Up Boss, for those wondering. Jen, take note. David likes, for the big brokerages like Jen, David likes Follow Up Boss. If you are a down and dirty and do everything yourself marketer like myself, Diana literally does it with her property radar and keeps track that way. That's how she does it. She knows who I've visited, who I've talked to, who we've had conversations with, who Kevin's following up with. Mind you, what is Follow Up Boss, Daniel says? David?
Well, it's a real estate CRM, and they may do it in other industries, but that's we use, and I've used a number of. It's kind of we used Top Producer before. We've experimented with a number of them, and we've settled on Follow Up Boss.
There you go.
And it's relatively inexpensive and very effective.
Does it work for OCD people, like the person in the other room? Will I be able to get her to migrate to it actually?
Well, I don't know what her OCD is, but
she needs to be in control of everything.
I find it incredibly simple to use. We get new employees up and run on it with minimal training. They get the hang of it pretty quickly.
Rick Amador, long time, no time, Rick. This is a good turnout for this call. Do you have to sign up for a premium account with Property Radar to use the Keep Track feature? I don't think she has a premium account, but then again, Rick, without sounding...
If you want to know, yeah. I've had to troubleshoot this with some people, and they've needed... I don't know what those premium features are. I just know when I was trying to help him build his list because he was tagging and not getting responses, when we had him upgrade to the higher price one, I think it was $39 to $49 or $59 a month, then all those tools were there and we were able to get the right list and the results improved immediately.
There you go. And I don't mean to make this sound bad, but I've been working with Property Radar for a long time, so I don't even know if we actually pay for a Property Radar account. You would think that I would be smart enough not to be paying for a Property Radar account. You would think.
I pay for one.
I think we do too. The only person who was ever kind to us, I think, was Realty Track, who would give me credits while they were testing out the now failed Mega.Realty Track system.
Yeah, they never figured that out. It was always clumsy.
I loved it. It's perfect for a data nerd. It's not perfect for people who don't get it. It's not Property Radar by any stretch of the imagination. Question from Mr. James Bodie. After sending a slide dial, should we repeat it? How so and often? Okay. So I guess there's 3 steps, right? You meet with the homeowner and then you follow up. Following up with people who have yet to convert, there are 2 ways to follow up. For those of you who don't know, we haven't done this in a while, so I'll put it on the screen. And then we'll talk to David, and he can talk about all his slick automated emailing system things. I'll show you the down and dirty Lee version. On the screen is Sly Broadcast. I'll make sure to send that out so you guys get some free units again. You just log in. Personally, to answer your question, James, when it comes to Sly Broadcast, I like to... I don't know. I'm on Sly Broadcast once a month. I send out email once a week, though. I'm a huge believer in once a week on my email, once a month on the phone call. I have a couple of 100 names that I'm still cultivating, plus or minus. What's your rotation like, David?
We don't try to do slide dial more than once. So I'm only doing slide dial. We only do slide dial on declines. That's when we're doing it. We don't get too fancy beyond that.
There you go. Simple.
Now, for my general marketing, I use Sly Broadcast, but that's for non-distressed stuff that we do.
Simple. Anybody else? For the sake of the podcast, David, how can people get a hold of you if they have questions about short sales across the country?
Yeah, we do them everywhere. So we're probably the largest short sale negotiator in the country. And we continue to thrive, even though people say there are no more short sales. We have a pipeline to suggest otherwise. If you would need help with that, and 72% of the time it costs you nothing because we got to figure out how to get the bank to pay our fees, you would just call me, 805-413-8000, 805-413-8000. Of course, you can email me at david@HomeLoanAdvocates.com. Advocates is plural.